26th of July. Look at the sleekness and beauty of this Italian racing machine. Hello, I'm Luke Wilkins, Motorcycle Diaries, and I've had this bike now for almost a month from Ducati, and it is one of the bikes, one of the few bikes from the Diaries that has really split me down the middle. And I'll tell you why. First up, okay, £11,500 is pretty much the most expensive naked 1000cc bike you're going to get around. It's more even than the Speed Triple, but definitely more than the FZ1 CB1000RA, which I'll be riding next few weeks, next few days even, and all the other bikes in that option. Secondly, this is a standard one, not the S version, which is an extra 14 grand, which I almost don't really get the point of the S. You get excellent suspension, traction control, all that, but for 14 grand, you're pretty much just a grand and a bit away from buying the 1198, which, well, the bike's based on the 1098, but there we go. Thirdly, it's Ducati. It goes like absolute stink and it sounds amazing. There's simply nothing like it. That twin, it's not like an obligatory or it's not an option to wheelie it. It's just going to pick up in first and second gear. The dry clutch, I love the performance it gives when you give you above speed. But on the flip side, it can be really clunky at low speeds. The twin engine is lumpy and that's the whole point. It's a naked Streetfighter. But you know, it's not the easiest thing to ride around town. I find the seating position really uncomfortable. The tank is a little bit too narrow, and I'm quite a tall guy. My knees, where I want to grasp it, you've got that bit there which kind of stops it, which is frustrating. And as I say, below 40 miles an hour, everything doesn't seem to really come together. That indicator switch I've talked about before, little things that annoy me. But it's Ducati. It sounds amazing, and once you get up to speed, the riding is incredible. I mean, you're buying this for its individuality. You're not... You bet a machine, I'll be honest with you. You know, the FZ1000, CB1000 are brilliant naked sports bikes, but they don't have the flair, the passion, the noise, and the V-twin, obviously, this Ducati, which a lot of people will buy it for. I mean, the Ducati Streetfighter has its own website, its own membership club, loads of things like that, so it is an amazingly popular bike. Now, as I say, I had this for a month, been running lots of different things, and I think the thing is that I've been getting on like lots of Japanese sports bikes, then you get on this, and as I say, just riding around town on short journeys, although obviously the sound, the passion, the actual feel of it is amazing, you do kind of just think that, oh, it's not a very practical bike compared to, say, the Japanese bikes. But I'm now taking this back to Ducati Coventry, going to have a quick chat with Jinxie and get some onboard footage, and yeah, I mean, I love it. It's Ducati, it's amazing, but as I'm saying, it's one of those cases of, they're not for everyone. You know, if you're expecting an easy bike to ride that would be nice and light around town and stuff, this isn't it. But if you want something that sounds like this, and let's just show you again how to start it up, because I love this. Flick up the switch there, and I've got a quiet plane. Enough said. So, Ducati Streetfighter. Italian racing thoroughbred beast. But as all bikes you get passionate about with character, it has its flaws. But listen to that. This torque is amazing. Let's go. This thing would be a lot of fun riding in the wet, but I mean, buying this for a commuter is kind of like buying a Ferrari and then complaining it's not great on the school run. It's not economical. It's a Ducati Streetfighter. You're buying it for that passion, for that overzealousness, for that little bit of extra chutzpah you don't get in your Japanese bikes. And you know what? I love it. Ducatis, what is it with them? Every time I get on them, I almost don't want to like them, but you end up just falling in love with them. Amazing machine. This engine's great. Here we are, Ducati Coventry with the Streetfighter. Say hello, Mikey. And this is Jinxie here as well, the boys. Look at all these Ducatis! I can't show you too much, obviously this is a secret race place where they do all the bikes, but Jinx, I've brought back your Ducati Streetfighter, the non-S version, £11,500 worth of Italian fire, I'd say, and passion. Just been chatting with you actually, mate, and just saying, the classic thing with this is, I've been sitting here saying, oh, the indicator stalk really annoys me because you can't cancel in it, seating position under 40 mile an hour is uncomfortable and all this, but as I say, as soon as you get up to 40 miles an hour or above that, or, you know, you're getting on an open road, this becomes one of the greatest machines I've ever ridden. Do you know what I mean?
Sounds good.
I think it confused me for the first few weeks that I had it, because I was trying to find really hard to think about where it would fit in, if you know what I mean, because you've got the 1198, just an incredible sports bike, and if you went for the S version, the 1198 is in about £1,000 extra, isn't it? Because this is 14 and a bit S version, 1198 is what's just 16, isn't it? Yeah, so yeah, I was kind of thinking, well, it's a bit hard to go for that one, I'll get the full-on racer, and then I was thinking, well, maybe it's aimed at somebody who might want to commute and, you know, make it as a practical bike. It's really not, is it? If you want that, go for one of those, I suppose, the kind of Ducati Monster, because that is a little bit more manageable, it's still got a lot of torque, it's a lot of fun. But this thing is a beast, I mean an absolute beast. The torque that twin delivers, the power it comes through, obviously 1098 engine with the 1198 crank casing, so it's light. Yeah, well, I'm pretty much adrenaline still pumping from riding it. It's
You've kind of answered all your questions.
Well, I haven't even let you speak. But it's that, it was niggling me because it didn't feel, as I say, you know, when you look at the Street Fighters, at the FZ1000, CB1000R, you know, they are literally a sports engine, but in a really everyday usable package. I wouldn't say this is everyday usable, is it really?
I think Ducati, when they built this bike, they built it as the original concept of a Street Fighter, which is basically put some flat bars on and take the fairings off, which it isn't actually about everything. I mean, it's a completely one-off bike. It's styled to look like the back end of a sports bike.
Yeah, which I do love that back end.
But I mean, everything's completely one-off of this bike.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've kept everything as it should be and put a set of flat bars on it, basically.
I think that's exactly it, isn't it? It's like when I compare like a Harley to a Japanese cruiser and that, you know, you can't, because the Japanese superbikes are made to be incredibly usable. This is much more, I suppose, for the experienced rider who, I'm not going to lie, I mean, I've been riding for 12 years, I love my riding. I'm not saying I'd be scared to get on this if I was a new rider, but it's so much power and torque, and I know on the S you get the traction control as well, which will make it a little bit more manageable, but it is just literally, if you fall asleep for a second, you know, it will tear your head off. But that's what has such a following.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Because so many people would ride a Japanese bike and go, oh, it's so mundane, and it will feel strange. Getting back on something like the CVR 600R after this is going to feel really easy to ride and just not as reckless fun. And I think that's what's confused me. It's like when I had the 1198, I expect it to be full-on crazy, do you know what I mean? Monster, I'd always wanted one, and it was, you know, really quite rideable, but, you know, still a little bit crazy. And this is kind of, as you said, an example of what Ducati can do by putting a racing bike in a kind of like unfaired machine, and it's just nuts.
It's it is a bit wild, to be fair.
Would you buy this, or would you go for the 1198?
I'd buy this over the 1198.
Really?
That's just my opinion. It's just for my riding. You know?
Yeah, you're starting riding, bad riding, yeah.
Mainly commuting. You know?
Yeah, I suppose so.
1198's a fantastic bike, but not for commuting at 6:45 in the morning.
No, well that's the thing, I suppose. But I'd almost say the same with this in regards to, if I was doing it like a 50, 60 mile commute every day and it was a tan journey, would you buy the Monster over this?
Depends what sort of money I had, you know.
Yeah, fair play, man.
Money, no issue. I'd have a Street Fighter.
See, I think that's the difference, isn't it? Me and you would, but I blatantly would, if I could afford it, I'd go for this, because it keeps you on your toes. It is that kind of craziness that you just get in nothing else. There is nothing else like that, you know, like this. I've ridden the Buells, I've ridden everything. This is just kind of crazy. I suppose the closest would be the Buell 9BSX or whatever it is, but that's not a full-on racer.
It's not really a comparison, but
no.
Close enough, I suppose.
But yeah, it is nuts. And as you say, I suppose if you're a good rider, you got £11,500 or 14 for the S version. It is a complete, unique one-off experience. So I'd recommend doing it. Buddy, thank you as always.
No worries.
It's been a pleasure, mate. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, another time.